Hello, everyone. Welcome back to NeoCab. I apologize for my scratchy voice, but this is Dan again with the scratchy voice. You know, I would like to wait until my voice has come back and I feel a bit better, but I got infant twins, and so I take the opportunity to record when I'm able to. So if I still feel a little or sound a little off, I mean, I don't feel off, but certainly my throat and my voice doesn't seem to be quite cooperating. But if I sound better than normal, don't get your hopes up, because my voice will get back to what it was sounding like before eventually. But last time we ended off, we met up with Liam again, and man, he made us have for one thing, he had brought up the idea of like, hey, you feel weird about like people seeing your feelings and stuff, and like he talked about things that I was talking about, and I was like, yeah, I'm glad that I'm not the only one who was thinking this. But anyways, we are now have the opportunity to pick up Una St. Clair yet again. She was quite the interesting ride, I will say, and I think we're gonna go with her again. She was the person who gave us the hint or the clue of the Stance machine, so maybe she'll give us something else. I mean, she is what, the quantum statistician. I'm still having trouble pronouncing that word, but she's the quantum witch. So maybe she's got something else for us. Second ride of night 3. Una slid into the back seat. Hello again. Any progress on the quantum thing? The quantum thing? We really need to get you a textbook. Quantum anything is really mind-boggling, because it involves something or multiple things being it involves a thing being multiple things all at once, and not many people can wrap their heads around it. But yes, I've made some progress. I'm now gathering more information, which is why you're heading to... Is this right? City Hall? Yes, they're announcing where the new municipal spaceport is going to be built. At midnight. Very dramatic. Here's hoping they announce the choice with a balloon drop. Well, maybe that's a thing. Here's hoping they announce the choice with a balloon drop. That would be unexpected indeed. So there are 3 neighborhoods being considered, or maybe I should say threatened. The world is about to change for one of them. Uncertainty of that magnitude has a very strong feeling. Yeah, it's called dread, or couldn't you just hang around people as they played lottery tickets? Because she needs to be within, like entropy to be able to fixate on what timeline she's in, because entropy, or weird things happen, it makes a timeline distinct, right? So it makes it clearer where you are as far as what timeline you're in versus another, right? Because like weird things are less likely to happen, maybe, or they just are more visible, perhaps. Yeah, it's called dread. Not quite. Dread and hope both anticipate an outcome and taint the pure uncertainty. It's difficult to find large groups of people generating this kind of energy. The nurses shoo me away when I hang around the hospital. Large-scale sporting events are an option, of course, but I've learned the hard way to regard my own comfort as an essential variable. I wondered if my worry about Savvy was feeding her. It felt gross, like she was a vulture for these moments in life when you feel small and helpless. I know what you're thinking. I didn't say anything. You're wondering if you should take Obulet or Isidore Street. You'll take both. Highly doubtful. Oh, the timeline will branch in. Wait for it. Una waited. My body tensed up. I held my breath. And totally missed the turn onto Oublelet. There. Did you feel it? The literal branching of timelines? No. I believe you will someday. I felt it. It was a falling sensation, followed by the faintest thump. One version of this cab went down Oublelet. Another down Isidore Street. I'm glad to be us, but I bear the other versions of Una and Lina no ill will. Oh, don't look at me like that. Yeah, because she was like, what? Like what? Like I'm a kooky old lady. You're not old. No, she is old. You're not kooky. I'm neither kooky nor old. In fact, I'd wager I'm one of the most practical people you've ever met. I don't think I'd refer to Una as practical in any timeline. I'm sorry, I can't help myself. Quantum statisticians can be annoying this way. So, I have a question. I know you're into randomness and entropy, but what do you actually do? What do you get out of fixing reality? Both are good questions, actually. Let's go with, like, what does she get out of it? That's a fair question. Fixing reality is strictly a hobby. I'm a little embarrassed to say it, but mostly I get paid to recover passphrases. Oh, so she gets passwords. Do you ever use those skills for evil? Not personally. Global financial institutions seem to do quite enough evil on their own. Agreed. I do permit them to pay me, though. No one's hands are clean. This seems to be the case in every timeline. Yeah. I think I want your job. I'm not surprised to hear you say that. You live closer than most to the quantum realm. Because of all the emotions she has, or is it because the fact that we're playing her? How so? You choose your passengers, don't you? I mean, not really. Sometimes I get a feeling. So you do feel it. Each choice is a branch. The other version of you with that other passenger, she exists. I'm not sure if you're up on your Tate-Kearney theory, but it's been proven. Should I be jealous of the other version of me? That's exactly the right question, my dear. Most people don't ask the right question. You could be quite good at this. Quantum riches, here I come. I wasn't sure I wanted to be good at whatever this was. She asked. She didn't have to sound quite so surprised. I could teach you. If you had access to a 512-qubit quantum compiler. And assuming you knew your foundational statistics, of course. And had 20 hours a week for problem sets. I'll bone up between rides. Yeah, that sounds a lot. I have to confess, I'm maxed out at geometry. So, I'm not going to learn how to be a witch, is what I'm hearing. Yes. Ha! Perhaps not quite yet. Anyway, it's all more complicated these days. When I started, the compilers only had 32 qubits, if you can believe it. I nodded. I believe it. You didn't shrug. You could have shrugged. Yeah? The way the world branches in the tiniest ways. It's interesting, isn't it? I was starting to feel weird. Paralyzed. Every choice. Not just every choice, every action. Not just every action, every thought. So, yeah. I mean, why one and not the other? Well, I mean, the current you chooses whatever it does, and that formulates the timeline that you're in. Where did the decision happen? When you make that decision, because your thoughts come up and make that decision, but there's things that influence it, but I don't know, maybe it's the personality, but I mean, if the timeline has been the same up until that particular point, everything else is the same, right? But maybe something else, like chance occurrence happens, entropy. What is a decision even? Well, a decision is still what it is. Yeah, why not one and not the other? Was it truly my choice? Was it decided elsewhere? Could I choose not to choose? That, well, I feel like that itself is a choice, isn't it? Because you could choose to do a bunch of stuff, or you could choose not to. Either way, there was a decision made to either do something or not do something. I mean, you do choose, but is that related to the timeline? Are you in a timeline where you make the decision, or is the timeline formulated because of the decision? So you either exist and you're going through the motions of a timeline that is preordained in front of you, or your destiny is created by the choices that you make, and that future is not written or made until that decision is made. But regardless of what decision is made, both outcomes create a new future, a new timeline, and thus your future is created. But which one you exist in is dependent on that choice that you particularly made, that you exist in, the one that made the choice. And all the ones that made the other choice still exist, but in their own respective timelines. Was it decided elsewhere? That's a good question. Do my choices unfold on some level I could never see or experience? It felt like that sometimes. It does. It feels like the decisions that you make feel like they kind of feel like you make them, but they also kind of feel like someone makes them for you, or like you're pushed to make certain decisions. Do you ever feel like that? You know, like where you feel like, all right, I'm here, I'm thinking, I'm being rational, I'm taking in all this evidence, these thoughts, and I'm making a decision based upon the rational side of my brain. And then you make that decision. But do you ever think sometimes it's like, well, was that something that was pushing me to make that decision? Did these rational things, or so-called rational things in my brain that happened that I had thought of, did they exist because some other force or some other entity was pushing this evidence, this interpretation of things into my thoughts that made me or influenced me to choose? I don't know. My head felt like it was going to explode. I was dealing with way too much other certainty in my reality to process this. It must be exhausting to be Una. Una tapped the back of my seat. Hello? Sorry, zoned out for a second there. I was saying, get ready for it. For what? Una looked out the window. There's the other versions of us, the Una and Lina that took Oubliette. They'll merge with us in a moment. Wait for it. Wait. I wonder what kind of conversation they had. Maybe they're halfway to Vegas by now. I mean, there could be an existing timeline or a new timeline where they had just in the middle of going that way, they decided, let's go to Vegas. That is a very different timeline, my dear. Not a bad one, though. Una shuddered. It was like a wave passed through her. There! That was it. I guess I didn't know what I felt. Either way, we were at City Hall. The timelines have merged again. It always makes me feel better, like I have a little more of myself. I'll need it all to handle this announcement. There's going to be yelling. Wait. Do you really feel like this all the time? How do we make decisions, and how do you live like this? Do you really feel this way all the time? I do. It was upsetting at first. Running problem sets on a quantum computer, understanding they were all happening at once. And so, by extension, was everything else. But the math checks out. These are simply the cards we've been dealt. So, it seems like she's gotten numb to it. It's like things happen, they happen, you just do whatever you do. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's a fog for her. It's just kind of like, ooh, all this stuff. She's just kind of like going for the ride. I've come to find it utterly liberating. There are no wrong answers because they are all inevitable anyway. That other version of me, that other you, all those other rides. Maybe we'll meet up at the end, all of us. Probably not, but that's okay. I wished I had her perspective. I couldn't help but think that sounded a little sad. I mean, I think she's taking a positive spin at it. Like, you could look at it where, oh, I wish that other person was me or I was that other person, but she's taking a good spin. It's like, hey, they're all good. Everything happens everywhere all at once, just like the movie. But I mean, she's taking it in stride. And it's not, the fact that they exist doesn't deter her. I mean, she's, as people say, living her best life. A life without regret sounded much more peaceful. Oh, I need to get in there. A neighborhood is about to be ruined. She slid out of the car and dashed towards City Hall, slipping between knots of protesters gathered outside. They were all fired up, chanting and waving signs in the middle of the night. It made sense. They were fighting for their homes. I wondered what would happen if Una told them they would fail and also succeed. Yeah, they'd probably be very upset. Their field grids would be red, I'm sure. Would everyone just give up and leave? Una perched on the stage near the podium, draped a blanket over her legs and closed her eyes. I wished us all luck. Yeah, all Linas and all Unas, wishing them luck. Una St. Clair. Tonight's Lina is a fascinating possibility space, not fully manifested. She gave us 3 stars, my guys. Decreased. Maintain her rating of 4. Ugh. Alright, well, now we're in tough situations. Alright, we gotta juice up first. Okay. Full charge. This one feels like it costs less. I mean, it makes sense that each neighborhood would have different cost. Alright, let's see. There's this dude, Sam Lucas, just setting up my neocab. Gideon DeKalb, first aid. I don't think that name is familiar. Fiona. Anthony Colton. And this dude, Charlie Elliott. I don't know. I want to talk to him again, but at the same time, I mean, we do need more leads, right? I don't think any of these guys seem like a DJ. I don't know. we do need a boost in our star rating. So I mean, I don't know if Charlie's gonna do it, but maybe. I mean, we started on him. Maybe we can ingratiate ourselves a little bit better and get some extra information out of him, perhaps. I responded to Charlie's pickup request quickly, without really being sure why. I try not to second guess my instincts too much. Maybe I was surprised to see him hailing a neocab after that. Yeah, because he's pro-Capra. I think I just wanted to give him a piece of my mind. Part of me hoped he'd have some news. Yeah, that he'd have some news about Savvy. But I said pulled up to Capra Tower to pick up the jerkhole who threatened me. I was questioning way more than just my instincts. Just my luck. Lina Romero. What's a human girl like you doing at a tech campus like this? Yeah, I was just asking myself the same question. I hate this neighborhood and your eyesore of a building. Why don't you tell me how you really feel? Sure, I hate your soulless little plastic cars too. Is that it? And your corporate hoodie is lame. Okay, that's it. I'm glad we could get that out of the way. So, is there a reason you called the neocab tonight? Yes, I wanted to apologize. I was a little rude the other night. Yeah, you gave me a 1 star. Really? A little rude. You gave me 1 star. You could have gotten me termed. Huh? There's no way they'd fire you for 1 bad review. Wake up, Capra Cadet. Neocab drivers have a little mantra. 5 to survive. Anyway, below that perfect average, we're on the edge. A 4-star rating is a slap in the face. A 1-star rating? That's a knockdown punch. Well, I had no idea. That sounds like a bad algorithm. I would weight the averages differently if I were coding it. Well, you're coding my replacement, so. I mean, I guess we'll be nice. Because, I mean, maybe we can get some info out of him. Besides, I mean, he was really mean the last time. I mean, he's trying to say sorry. I don't know that he's doing a very good job of it, but he is trying. Really means a lot coming from you. Look, like I said, I'm sorry. I'm truly sorry about the rating, okay? Not knowing isn't an excuse. That's true. Fair's fair. I'm giving you 5 stars tonight, no matter what. That was actually a halfway decent apology, Charlie. I'm trying. I'm not always like this, you know. It's been extremely stressful since Savvy disappeared. She stole something from us. From Capra. I can't get into it, but let's just say my life has been a living nightmare since she left. And things won't go back to normal till you find her? That's a familiar scenario. Ah, of course you get it. Which reminds me. What would you say to trading information? I'll tell you everything I know. Well, I mean, fair's fair, right? Okay, we're not on the same team. Well, we kinda are. Might as well upload everything I know straight to Capra. I might consider it, but only if it gets Savvy out of this mess. It definitely will. Each night she stays a fugitive, things get worse for her. But if she comes forward quietly, there's a good chance they'll let her off easy. Crisis communications, you know? If she comes forward quietly, huh? You don't know Savvy as well as you think you do. She's never done anything quietly in her life. Maybe you don't know Savvy as well as you think. She was my only real friend at work, or so I thought. I trusted her. I opened up to her in a way I never do. Not in years, not even with boyfriends. And then she just leaves, tosses a match over her shoulder and vanishes. I'm sorry that happened to you. Well, get ready. She'll do the same to you. Just let me off here. Finally. I need to say this. Any information you do share with me, nobody will know it came from you. Not Capra, not Savvy. Think about it. Sure, but only if you think about this. Everything you accuse Savvy of doing, Capra did to me and thousands of others. I depended on them. I thought they valued me. But they were just telling me whatever I wanted to hear. The nanosecond they didn't need me, I was done. Dumped like trash on the curb. Speaking of, here's your curb. I can totally see what you're... Bye, Charlie. Yeah, they did her dirty like that. They really did. Well, he gave us 5 stars. Here's 5 stars for your trouble. Do judges take star ratings into account during sentencing? Alright, we got better. Alright. Oh, new message from Liam. Hey, Lina. Thanks again for the ride. Great talking to you. Here's the picture I took at the Sophie Lemel Vigil. Do I post? Yes, no. Circle one. I say go for it. I mean, it is a picture, and people can interpret the way that they want to interpret, no matter what. They're gonna do that. And like Lina said, you know, it is a real picture. It's what he saw, his experience, and it seems like he's into the art, and art is meant to be interpreted. Yeah, there's lots of blue, but that could be a lot of different things. I say go for it. It's a really beautiful shot. Thank you. Okay, I'll put it up straight away. I think it's a good call. I was maybe being silly earlier. Hope you have a great night. Hope to see you around. It was well after midnight, and I met my ride quota. I checked my fuel grid. Violet. I had an enemy to push me one more ride tonight, or should I call it early and get some rest? I think we push on. We gotta maximize what we can do. And maximize the amount of money we can get. We need it. Fuel and the place to stay certainly hits us pretty hard. We didn't even hit our ride quota. Yeah, we only got 9 out of 35. Okay, let's see. What have we got here? I mean, there's this guy. This has got to be a pretty lucrative ride, right? 3. I don't know. This above all, to thine own self be true. Klaus. I think we go this guy. We'll still have charge left over. And then we'll be at the area for where we go to sleep anyways. So maybe this is what we do. I think this will be the last ride of this video. Get the whole night 3 in. Driveway blocked. I'll wait for you on the other corner instead. Thanks. Not again. Not doing what the PAX wanted could hurt my star rating, but pulling over in an AV zone would risk a stop from the LOPD. Not to mention a ticket that would set me back some serious coin. I mean, we're at 4.4 stars. That's gonna hurt. We have some money, so maybe we risked the ticket. I couldn't risk losing the star. I pulled right up to the pin and right inside a clearly marked Capra loading zone. My headlights hit one of the cars and it froze in that weird, too fast AV way, almost like you scared it. Almost like they weren't the thing to actually be afraid of. He flashed a grin as soon as he saw me. My stomach flipped. He was kind of handsome. Like, really handsome. Well, I mean, Savvy did say she hopes that she picks up a cute guy, so maybe. Why don't the cute packs ever pop up at a good time? Instead, I was seconds away from stress eating the whole bag of super sours in the glove box. Hey, Lina, right? The one and only. Too much? Probably too much. Carlos, nice to meet you. I caught his eyes in the rear view. He seemed too happy for this time of night. Maybe not happy exactly, more like normal. It was like spotting a rare bird. I love birds. I see you've been doing this for a while. Driving a cab a few years. How can you tell? You keep your wrists very straight. RSI? Repetitive stress injury. It flares up every now and then. Do you have it too? No, but I can spot the signs. Oh, so are you a doctor? I take care of folks. There are some good exercises for the wrist that you could try. I can send you some videos. Thanks, not a lot of people seem to care. Yeah, we get good at making our own little bubbles. I'm guessing you folks don't have great insurance. Lots of ice packs and wrist braces. You know how they treat RSI now if you're on the Capra plan, right? They knit this composite weave into the tendons in your wrist. A Capra zoomed in front of me and I felt a twinge below my palm. Like my body was rejecting the very idea of Capra getting into my bones. Yeah. Giant corporate entities like that are doing like shady things. No, I don't want to in my body. Like putting pins in a broken leg? More like sewing frayed fabric back together. Keeps everything tidy, stops the inflammation, makes you a little superhuman. Sorry, didn't mean to drag you into a medical lecture. I mean, kind of interesting. Glad you think so. Maybe I should start a podcast, Tendon Talk. or Bile Buddies. Blood Gab. Bod Pod? Why am I always surprised when I get a nice packs? So, where are you headed? Well, this guy I know fell off a ladder. Might be a minor injury, might be serious. Won't know until I get there. Ladder fall, that's double the bad luck, yeah. Oh yeah, at least double. From the way he was breathing, it sounded like a bruised rib. So that's why I'm heading over at 2 in the morning. Yeah, I mean, he sounds... I mean, what is he, like Dr. House or something? But enough about my problems. It looks like you're having a rough night. Yeah, honestly, it's been a little rough. Well, tell me. It's been a weird night. My best friend dropped off the face of the earth. I don't know if she's ghosting me or... Sounds like you need a better friend. A bester friend. She's not so bad. I get it, just... Stress is the biggest predictor of heart disease, you know? I pulled up to a modest low-rise haloed by the glow of fast food signs. Thank you so much. That was super quick. He flashed another smile at me in the mirror view. I hope your friend is okay. Me too. All the videos on treating ribs are a little vague. Oh, so he's not a doctor, he just helps people and he watches videos to diagnose and do stuff? Like, what's going on? Hey, let me ask you, do you think it's better to be in a compression wrap or run the risk of pneumonia? Wait, videos? Yeah, I hacked my way into all the big hospital libraries. How do you think doctors learn this stuff? Medical school? Sure, where they watch videos. Relax, I have pretty good treatment record. It's like I said, I help folks. And folks don't worry about what's hanging on my wall, you know? Anyway, this is me. Great to meet you, Lina. Maybe I'll run into you again. So my nice handsome Pax was a nice illegal doctor. Mockdor, that's what he should call his podcast. Couldn't trust anyone. I mean, he's still helping people. I hope it at least helped someone tonight. Yeah. Had to admire him for trying to help people. Yeah. I mean, he's trying to help. I mean, there's a reason that they call him and not a real doctor, right? I couldn't imagine that health insurance was easy to come by in Automation City. I stretched my legs and heard something rattle on the floorboard. I reached under my seat. A bottle of pills. Zerodental G. Never heard of it. Prescribed by my doctor Pax to one Joanna Johnson. Cool, super legit, extremely legal. We'll put him in the glove box. Maybe we'll see him again. Maybe we could return them to him. Not a bad excuse to see him again. Wait, could he? Did he leave those behind on purpose? She got excited there for a second. Now we're yellow. They called me Mellow Yellow. Gave us 4 stars. Thanks for going out of the way to pick me up. Otherwise, really nice ride. Thanks. Star rating went down. Star rating go down. Alright. Let's end the shift. Hit up Crasher. We're right here, so this is helpful, actually. Should we juice up first and then crash? Yeah, let's do that. Alright. Oh, cheapest. This is a cheap neighborhood. Alright. So yeah, some places are really expensive. It makes sense. I mean, this is the cheap neighborhood. That's why they were calling for a fake doctor, right? Go back to the Azteca. Maybe I should try staying at one of the Capra hotels one time just to see if it's different. I was actually looking forward to the dreams this time. Anything to keep my mind off whatever was going on with Savvy. I let myself drift off, trying to prime my thoughts for the flying sensation again, and sure enough, I slowly realized that I was back in my old room. This time I had a body. It was healthy and fast and strong and beautiful. I realized that I didn't need to fly. Just pushing my feet into the ground felt incredible. Like each step was the first breath after coming up from underwater. I felt like I was living for the first time. I couldn't wait to see where my feet were carrying me. But then I realized it wasn't my body. I didn't know whose it was. Someone thicker and taller and hairier and thinner. And I didn't know what shape I was anymore. I was looking at this body from the outside, and then I was looking at a lot of them. They piled on top of me, higher and higher. I started to suffocate under the weight of those bodies. My last breath was someone's heel jammed in my mouth like a cork. Nobody saw me die. I woke up covered in sweat and grabbed a Danish on my way out. It was over an hour before I could force myself to eat it. It was actually pretty delicious. I grabbed a Danish on my way out. Back to work. Alright. Well, that was the end of night 3. My 4th night in Los Ojos. Is this my life now? Making just enough coin to scrape by, never seeing the sun, on an endless search for my friend? Seems to be the case. I was starting to feel surreal, like the moment the camera pans to the dark figure laughing in the doorway and you just know, oh, she's doomed. Yeah. We haven't gotten much, like, going on. Like, hardly anything, like, happening. So, I don't know. I don't know how much more we have. Maybe I'm picking up the wrong passengers to advance the story and find out what's going on with Savvy. Maybe I need to pick up more varied people and get some stuff. But then maybe I need to go back and talk to I don't know. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you come back for the next one, and I hope to see you there. And until then, everyone, bye.